Hello, I'm back to episode number 503 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Raw for week 1 of April 2024, otherwise known as Raw's go-home show for WrestleMania 40. Tonight, it's Edge's final Raw show. He teams in the main event with Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Orange Cassidy to face off with Dominic Mysterio, Grayson Waller, Dijak, and Christian. We also have Gunther taking on Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes taking on Imperium's Giovanni Vinci, and a whole lot more. So any more further ado, let's jump straight into this go-home show. John Cena opens the show, he comes to the ring, R-Truth's by his side. And he goes, "What's going on here, Brooklyn?" He goes, "I know, 2 weeks ago, a lot of you were surprised to see me. I mean, for once in your life, you can see me, and you were surprised to see me come to the aid of R-Truth. Now, Truth and I, as I said to him last time, we had a bit of a rocky history last time I was here. I was going through a bit of a phase at that time in my career. But I need to stop and smell the roses, because I know there's only a limited number of times you're going to see John Cena going forward. And when I see Truth with his back against the wall, and those bullies from Pretty Deadly are taking out the rest of his group, why I made a wish come true that night. I rushed down to the ring and I helped my biggest fan, Truth, overcome Pretty Deadly. Now what I didn't realize was that came with me earning a shot at the Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania, but I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for two reasons. One, because I'm always thankful to get a shot at being a champion here in WWE. Anything that keeps me coming back is all well and good in my book. And two, because our current champions, they ain't real champions. Our current champions have got more interests in flying around the world, making business deals, having boxing matches, making YouTube videos, you name it, anything, but representing WWE as it should be. Now, Truth, I'ma tell you the truth. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around. I don't know what my schedule looks like after WrestleMania. So it's a very good opportunity that if we do win these Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania, I might not be able to be a partner in the long term. You may have to find a replacement for John Cena at some point. But that's all in the future. All that matters is the here and the now. What matters is at WrestleMania, those two posers currently reigning as Raw Tag Team Champions, it's time to put them in the dirt, end that little business deal they're making at the expense of the WWE. And once again, say the champ. And then Drew goes, "Oh, let me finish, John Cena. This is my favourite part. I love your catchphrase, John Cena. You're like my hero." And then they say, "The champ is here together."
Yes, boy!
Out come Pretty Deadly. And they go, whoa, let's stop all of this right now, okay? So 2 weeks ago, myself and Kit Wilson here, we were on our verge of making it to WrestleMania. You know, our first WrestleMania would be the prettiest WrestleMania you've ever seen. You know, you haven't had a WrestleMania with two such tasty snacks on the show ever before. But we were signed up for R-Truth taking on that fat slob Otis who we've fought countless times. And if Otis couldn't make it because he was a bit clumsy the prior week, then, well, it should have been us 2-on-1, and we should be the ones going to WrestleMania, but instead, John Cena shows up like the Superman he is. He comes rushing down. Wabba-doo, all of that, you know, the favourite bits. And he comes to the aid of, apparently, a man whose childhood hero was John Cena, despite the fact that he's older than John Cena and doesn't remember the last time that him and John Cena were together. And John Cena beat him with an inch of his life, because John Cena, as we all learned then, is a fraud and a phony and a terrible role model. Cena goes, "Kids, you know, I remember being in your position back in the day. I was never really a tag team guy, but I was young. I was hungry. I picked on a lot of the biggest dogs I could find, you know. Guy like The Undertaker, you may have heard of him. And let me tell you what happened when I did that, boys. He put me in his place. He humbled me. He showed me that I wasn't yet ready to step to one of the greatest of all time, but yet here you two are running your mouths in front of me. And if you're running your mouths in front of me, you need to be ready to back it up, boys. He takes the shirt off, you know, he's getting ready to fight. He goes, oh, no, boy. As you see, we're not looking dressed to compete right now. We just thought, you know, we'd come out here and, you know, wish you good luck at WrestleMania and good luck taking our position at WrestleMania that should have been ours this whole time. And then they go to leave and they try and get the jump on John Cena and R-Truth. Cena and Truth fight back. They both hit the 5 moves of doom at the same time. Both hit 5 knuckle shuffles. And then both hit AAs on Pretty Deadly. You know, John Cena raises R-Truth's arm. When they turn around, Logan Paul's there with brass knuckles on. He punches John Cena in the face with the brass knuckles. Down goes John Cena. R-Truth, he's seeing red. He goes to leap onto Logan Paul, but then KSI knocks him out as well. And then Logan Paul, he opens up a bottle of Prime. He takes a swig, he pours the rest of it on John Cena. And then they hold the belts up high down over the downed bodies of John Cena and R-Truth. 80 rated match. This is a follow-on from last week when Carmelo Hayes fought Ricochet. And obviously Bronson Reed came to the aid of Ricochet, and Omos was there to step in. They get in the tag team match tonight, the Cyclone against Carmelo Hayes and Omos. And it is the Cyclone who pick up the win. Big Bronson Reed pins Carmelo Hayes with the Tsunami because Trick Williams comes out. His music plays, he distracts Melo as he's up on the top rope. And then, you know, like he's watching Trick walk down to the ring. And then he leaps into the arms of Bronson Reed, who hits a Samoan drop or something on him. Then hits the Tsunami and pins him. 94 for Ricochet, 85 for Bronson Reed, 63 for Omos, 79 for Carmelo Hayes. Melo and Omos don't work as a team. That's fine, because they're not a team. If anything, he's just going to be like the heavy. So they won't be teaming that often, so that's okay. After the match, though, Tricky, he grabs a pipe from under the ring. He goes to get to Carmelo Hayes, but Melo hides behind Omos, and Omos just stands there, you know, arms crossed, as Trick Williams, you know, looks up at him. And then Ricochet and Bronson Reed appear by the side of Trick Williams. They work together, they both take down Omos. And then Carmelo Hayes, he's alone with Trick. Trick goes to swing the pipe at him, he ducks. Melo goes to escape, but Trick like grabs him by the necklace. You know, he wears a necklace that says "I'm him" or whatever on it. And then like Tricky's grabbed him by the necklace trying to stop him getting away. And then eventually, you know, Melo scurries away, you know, the necklace snaps off. And he gets out of the ring, so Trick's just there holding the broken necklace that says "I'm him." And Melo is scurried halfway up the ramp at this point, as Bronson Reed and Ricochet are neutralizing Omos, and then Omos sort of like retreats next to Carmelo Hayes on the ramp. But yeah, Tricky, he's out for blood. Him and Carmelo Hayes are going to settle their differences in Philly in 5 nights. I think they're on night 1. I do have the nights all set up now. So yeah, I think they are night 1, Melo and Trick. John Cena and R-Truth against Team Prime is night 2, for those wondering. Then see Zoe Stark backstage. You know, she's just warming up or whatever. AJ Lee walks in. She goes, "So Sol Ruca's not around, huh? You know, it's fine. You know, there's a lot of room here in the Raw Women's division for a solo star like you, but without the right guidance, you look a little bit lost." And so he goes, "What do you want, AJ?" She goes, "I don't want anything. I thought I would stop by and say, you know, good luck tonight. Good luck in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And if you really want guidance to take your career to the next level, you know, think about joining up with us." And she goes, "Why would I want to join up with you, huh? You've barely done anything for Kelsey and Anne-Marie." And AJ goes, "Well, I resent that opinion, Zoe. Okay, you know what? Scratch that. I don't wish you luck tonight because you're not going to win tonight, because tonight you and I are going to go one-on-one, and if you really think you're such a big breakout star in singles, you don't need me, prove it. Because tonight I'm going to prove you wrong when you step to a veteran and disrespect me like you just did." So AJ Lee Zoe Stark singles match later on tonight. We then cut to the ring. J-Flow in the ring. They're singing their special WrestleMania track when they're attacked by Kenzie and Kylie Page. You know, without Mandy Rose, because Mandy Rose is, you know, she requested her release and she's gone. But, you know, I can't just leave these girls to do nothing. So they get the jump on J-Flow, and then it turns into a tag match. Tam and Mina taking on the Page sisters. Gets a 67. J-Flow girls do pick up the win. Tam pins Kenzie with a spin kick. 70 for Mina, 72 for Tam, 32 for Kylie, 42 for Kenzie. And yeah, you know, again, Battle Royal build, you know. All the women on this show are either in the Fatal 4-Way, are Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley, who have a contract signing, and then or in the Battle Royal. So, yeah, you know, most of the women's action on this show is Battle Royal build. But it's fine, you know. There's kind of a stack, like, low-key in terms of, like, my perception of these characters. I think the women's Battle Royal is low-key more stacked than the men's. Like, the men's has Bronson Steiner, Chad Gable, Andrade, Ricochet, Cesaro, Dudley, people like that. But then on the women's side, you've got, like, Tiffany Stratton, AJ Lee, Roxy Perez, Kairi Sane, Cora Jade, Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler. Yeah, there's a lot of the women's Battle Royal is kind of stacked this year. Then get this, it's just a video package. You know, the horsewomen have done their talking. This is how we got here, but it's time to go over the history, you know, the historical significance of this match. You know, the four women who sort of ushered in this new revolution, this new generation of women's wrestling here in WWE. They've all main evented WrestleMania. They've all gone on to become, you know, some of the greatest of all time. But they've never, during their time together on the main roster, had that one fatal 4-way between all four of the horsewomen to see who was the best. And we're getting that at WrestleMania. It's going to be the main event of Night 2, because it was the decisive winner of the poll. You know, I left up the democracy, and, you know, as much as it may piss me off, I've got to stand by the results that you voted for. So this is the Night 2 main event. So, yeah. And for what it's worth, it was always, even if I picked the main events, this was always going to be the Night 2 main event, because, you know, it feels decisive. Like, even if there's better stories or bigger, quote-unquote, matches, this being the Night 2 main event at WrestleMania 40 felt decisive, and you clearly all agreed, so, yeah. Then cut to the ring. Matt Batista's in the ring with a table, you know, contract signing for the Liberty Championship match at WrestleMania between two alpha females, Rhea Ripley and that bitch Jade Cargill. And then they both come out. Jade, you know, dressed, you know, head to toe in, like, to the nines, dress, heels, all that shit. Rhea coming out all black. Fucking disrespectful, you know, slouching back on a chair. And Rhea goes, "Look at you, Jade. Look at how they pamper you. You've got the glitz and the glam. You've got the cool entrance. You look like $1,000,000. That's great. I do too, but I don't need to try as hard as you do, Jade. Since you came here, all you've done is come to this ring, you know, look hot, look like a star, beat a couple of girls, and then leave. Do you know what I've done? To call myself the alpha woman here on Raw, to call myself Mommy. I've been Raw Women's Champion twice. I've dominated everybody from the top to the bottom. You're talking Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. You name them, I've beaten them. And Jay, you have also beaten an impressive list of competitors yourself. But, again, I've been to the mountaintop, but I've also been to the very bottom. I know what it's like to be the top dog in the division, but I also know what it's like to lose. That's not something you've experienced yet, is it, Jay? You know what it's like to lose. Well, give it 6 more days and you're sure as hell gonna find out. And then what's gonna happen after that, Jay? Are you gonna continue on? You're gonna continue growing, improving, to get your championship back, or are you gonna fade into obscurity like many other flash in the pans have in the past? I'm actually excited. Only 6 days till I get to expose you for what you are. A no-good rookie who couldn't hang with mommy on her best day. She signs the contract. Jade takes the mic. And she goes, Rhea, cut the shit. You said this before. You know, you've been Women's World Champion, yeah. The only reason you've been Women's World Champion and main event at WrestleMania is because I wasn't around. I was busy breaking into the business while you were main eventing WrestleMania, and guess what? I've already eclipsed you. You're talking a big game. You're dressing me down because you see what I am, and that's better than you. I'm everything you claim to be. Mommy's always on top, you say. Well, you're talking about reality checks to me. When I lose at WrestleMania, what will I do after I lose? Rhea, let's talk about you. You've been WWE Women's Champion. You've been everything in this industry. At the age just before even 30 years old, you're already a first ballot Hall of Famer. But what next? If you lose at WrestleMania to this rookie, what next for you, Rhea? Because you can't take this championship off me. No, it's mine. You're gonna flee over to Raw or to SmackDown or to ECW and start brand new? Or are you gonna finally take a good long look in the mirror and realize that maybe you're the problem around here? Because, oh, I'm the problem, you say. I think it's a problem when I'm this bloody good. Okay? And at WrestleMania, I like, she sort of like stops talking and she like feels like something under the table. And then Tatum Paxi crawls out from under the table. She like takes a microphone, everyone's like looking at her confused. And she goes, well, Rhea Ripley, I agree. You are the best. I just love you so much. You're so great at everything you do, and I think you're gonna annihilate Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. And Rhea goes, what is your problem, you know? You've been up in my grill for weeks now. I've completely ignored you because you're not worth my time, but if you want to mess me up right now, then how about we clear this ring out and I have a little warm-up before WrestleMania and I put your ass in the ground. And then Tatum's like, yes, please do. Please do, Rhea Ripley. And then she like picks up the table, tosses the table out of the ring, gets into Jade Cargill's face, and is like, get out, please. And Jade's like, well, okay, like, you're a weirdo, I'll get away from you. And she leaves, and we do get Rhea and Tatum one-on-one. 70, you know, not very long match. Rhea Ripley defeats Tatum Paxi with a Riptide. 91 for Rhea, 65 for Tatum. And then after the match, you just send a message again to Jade Cargill. She locks Tatum in that prism trap, but as she like passes out in the pit from the pain, instead of like screaming in pain, she sort of just sits there with a weird smile on her face, like playing with her hair as she passes out in Rhea's grasp. And then Rhea just drops her unconscious body to the floor, like sort of looks down at her confused and then walks out. Then see Gable. He's backstage, you know, warming up for his match with Gunther tonight. In walks Cody Rhodes. Cody goes, Chad, I can't help but feel a little bit guilty about this. And he goes, don't feel guilty. Okay, what? You don't think I can beat Gunther? Well, Cody, at WrestleMania, I know you're going to walk out still WWE champion. And Gunther, you know, he disrespected your legendary brother. Last week, he disrespected me and Anthony. And tonight, I'm going to shock the world. I'm going to beat Gunther. And then you've got a match with Giovanni Vinci. You're going to get the momentum of coming off that win. You're going to go to WrestleMania. You're going to beat Gunther and remain WWE champion. Cody goes, well, I just hope you know what you're getting in store for, Chad. And he goes, don't worry. I got this. And then he leaves. Then get a quick video. Like a phone video, like it starts off like that, you know, that weird like crunkly noise as someone's picking up a phone and recording a video. And we can just see AJ and Finn there, you know, just their little heads on the screen. And like, I think it's on. House of Black. Probably wondering where me and AJ are tonight. But that's actually fine because we're not actually at Raw, before we take a little detour, before we fly back to Philadelphia next week to beat your ass at WrestleMania. And he goes, that's right, ever since you accepted our challenge, me and Finn, we need to find our guy. And luckily for us, we've got guys who are willing to jump in any fight. Guys who are willing to be brothers by our side. Guys who are with us for life. Not like we begin to see behind them a sign that it says welcome to Tokyo. They're in Tokyo. Go, Finn, when do you reckon our guy's getting here? And he's like, well, if he's not here tonight, he'll damn sure be in Philly Saturday. That's all I can tell you, AJ. House of Black. See you then. And he shuts the phone off. Oh. Okay. 84. Zoe Stark only gets a 50, but yeah. AJ carries the fuck out of her. She wins with the Shining Wizard in 12:55. 89 for AJ Lee, 50 for Zoe. And yeah, another great showing by Zoe Stark here tonight. But, ultimately she does come up short against AJ, which I guess sort of proves AJ right. In that, she could need the help of AJ, along with Kelsey and Anne-Marie. But also, maybe not, because, she took her to a limit. But again, both these women are in the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania, so maybe they can settle their score there. We then get, somber music starts playing. We get a shot of the park, the place where the anime boys train. You just hear the wind rustling over the sound, rustling over the grass waves in the wind. Nobody's around. And it's at night time, so it's sort of ominous that nobody's there. We then cut back to the living room. Nobody's there. TV's turned off. Manny's bedroom, nobody's there. And then we cut to the front door. When out steps Carland first. Takes a big sigh, he walks off. Then Reggie follows him. Does the same. Zelina Vega follows him. Then Axiom steps out, he's Carlos Ruiz in a turtleneck. He sort of steps out, looks around, pulls out his mask out of his pocket, puts the mask on, and then he follows the rest of them. And Manny and Saray step out together. Manny sort of awkwardly looks across at her. And he's like, so this is it. This could be our final fight together. And Saray says, no, Manny, we win. He goes, yeah, I'd like to think we'd win, but, what if we can't? What if Sensei is too strong? And she's like, we will win. I promise. And that sort of kisses him on the cheek. She goes, everything will be okay. And Manny goes, yeah. Yeah, it will. Then they walk off together. And then Dio steps out last. He sort of takes a look back through the door. We see him, the camera angle switches from inside the house. We see the empty house as Dio sort of looks in. He looks like he's holding back tears as he does it. Sort of just nods his head, slams the door shut, and the screen goes black. So yeah, our anime boys are ready for the final fight against their own flesh and blood, really, their own sensei. Can they save the Cruiserweight Championship? We'll have to find out WrestleMania. We then cut backstage to Logan Paul and KSI, who are, over the moon. And then Kathy goes, Logan, JJ, you got the jump on John Cena on R-Truth. And I goes, oh, we damn sure did, didn't we, Kathy? John Cena, they call him this man the greatest of all time. 16 world championships. Of course, he can't break that record. How about the great Ric Flair? Because, he fumbled at WrestleMania 3 years ago. Let's talk about fumbling at WrestleMania. That's John Cena's MO, Kathy. He fumbled back then. He fumbled last year against Carmelo Hayes. He fumbled back in 2020. He fumbled against The Undertaker. He's a fumbler. He's a loser. For somebody so great, he damn sure doesn't know how to lose at WrestleMania. And this Sunday, he can add another loss to his record, courtesy of this wannabe influencer, YouTuber, boxer, whatever he called me. Because I'm going to be one extra thing coming out of WrestleMania, John, that you ain't. And that's champion. And they walk off. 95, there we go, banger. Gunther gets some incredible last-minute warm-up ahead of WrestleMania. He defeats Chad Gable in 17-1 with the Last Symphony. 96 for Gunther, 87 for Chad. And yeah, big win for Gunther. Gable takes him to his limit, I guess. But he does still come out on top because he is the ring general. After the match, he continues the attack on Gable. Imperium come into the ring. No, Imperium continue the attack out. Gunnar doesn't lay a hand on him. Because that's not Gunther's MO, He just stands in the corner watching it on. They get Gable up for that Imperial Bomb. Outrushes Cody. He charges at Vinci, clotheslines him down. Does the same to Ludwig. Gable German suplexes Kaiser as well. And then Cody, he turns around, him and Gunther go face to face. And then him and Gunther get into a brawl. Security guards come out, they pull him apart, they take Gunther away, as well as Ludwig and Gable. So it's just Cody and Vinci, no one else at ringside, coming up next. That match gets a 90 as well. And Cody Rhodes defeats Giovanni Vinci with the Crossroads in 14:02. 90 for Cody, 89 for Vinci. But after the match, Cody's not done. He goes to ringside, he grabs a steel chair. He unloads on Giovanni Vinci in the ring. Like he just, to an uncomfortable degree, Cody snaps. Vinci's like screaming in pain. And Cody slams the chair down. He grabs him back. He goes, Gunther, you thought it was funny what you did to Dustin. Well, look at your boy now. An eye for an eye. At WrestleMania, in the main event, you and I are gonna do the damn dance. And you think you're ending my story? Well, Gunther, think again. Because in Philadelphia, the American nightmare becomes your nightmare. Yeah, Cody beats up Vinci. Vinci, he's in a lot of pain. He might not make WrestleMania. Spoiler, he won't. There's a very specific reason I specifically vote Vinci out as well. And it's funny, it just made me laugh. But yes, Cody, standing tall, has seen me taking out one member of Imperium, so it's just going to be Ludwig at ringside at WrestleMania against Gunther. Obviously, no next week rundown tonight because, well, next week is the Raw after WrestleMania, so we don't know what the fuck's going down there. So we just get Edge. He gets a special entrance, a lot of pyro, crowd singing his song and cheering him on ahead of his final ever match here on Monday Night Raw. Gets an 81. That's fine, I knew Gunther and Gable would be the best match on the show, but that couldn't main event in its own story and let it get yet again not over this anyway. But it is Edge who comes out on top in his last match here on Raw. Him, Randy, Ray, and Orange Cassidy defeat Dominic Mysterio, Grayson Waller, Christian, and Dijak when Edge spears Dirty Dom and gets the pin, ending his WWE Raw career on a high. 70 for Orange Cassidy, 68 for Ray, 78 for Randy, 74 for Edge, 83 for Dijak, 75 for Christian, 73 for Grayson Waller, and 82 for Dirty Dom. So yeah. Then after the match, he's celebrating, him and Randy and Ray. They celebrate together, three friends who have been at this for like 20 years. Randy and Edge, both former tag team champion partners of Edge as well, by the way. And Orange Cassidy just stood there in the corner, sort of like just watching. Like just leaning up against the rope, sunglasses on. Waiting for his moment to strike, but he never does because he's Orange Cassidy, he's too lazy for that. And we get a spot where those three hug, and they all turn to Orange Cassidy, who just stood in the corner. He just gives them a thumbs up and then rolls out of the ring, allowing Edge, Randy, and Ray to stand tall. Edge obviously in the middle. If it wasn't Ray, I'd have Randy and Ray lift Edge onto their shoulders, but that's an incredible height difference, so it probably wouldn't be practical to do that. But yes, that ends the go-home show to WrestleMania. Will Edge be victorious in his final ever match? When he finally... Oh, by the way, him and Christian barely touch in this match, because every time Christian's in the ring and Edge tags in, Christian tags straight out to Dijak. And then, at the end, runs away because he's Christian. So yeah, but there'll be no running at WrestleMania this Sunday in Edge's final match. 89 rated show, pretty good go-home show. And yeah, what matters more though is what you thought of the shows. Let me know in the comments below. The next time we'll see these Raw guys will be at WrestleMania itself. But first, we have Heat. And a big Heat main event, as Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville do battle in MMA Raws. See you on the outside. Another rather simple Heat here this week. Again, because it's the go-home show. There's no point really starting Heat angles because, WrestleMania is coming. So this is sort of like, I guess, a mini continuation of an angle. Tiffany and Mariah have, recruited the temporary services of Violette Martor to be their tag team partner to take on 3 members of J-Flow, the 3 that didn't wrestle on Raw, which is actually incorrect because I put Mina in here instead of Maki. Yeah. But yeah, Tiffany, Violette, and Mariah win. Tiffy pins Mizuki with the PME. 68 for Mina, 64 for Mizuki, 62 for Marika, 73 for Tiffy, 39 for Mariah, and a 59 for Violette Martor. 76. That's actually really good for this. Naomi and Carmella. So this match is... these are the first 2 women to have ever won the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. And also the only 2 that aren't booked on the main show at WrestleMania that will be in it this year. Because they did the 2 in real life that these 2 won. Then they didn't do one in the COVID year. And then, since then I've booked them all. And it was Asuka, Rhea, and Florence who won them. So yeah. So these 2 are the only 2 that are in this year's that have won one before. And it is Naomi who picked up the win. A split-leg moonsault in 9:34. 72 for Naomi, 59 for Carmella. 75 rated tag match. The Birds of Prey. Lyra and Killer Kelly defeat Alba Fire and Iona Webb when Lyra pins Iona Webb with the guillotine. 64 for Webb, 70 for Fire, 76 for Lyra, and a 67 for Killer Kelly. And then our main event is the match to close out the rivalry between Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville. It's an 83. That's really good for what it is. And yeah, Sonya wins this short little feud here on Heat. She beat Shayna MMA rules by submission in 13:33. 80 for Shayna, 74 for Sonya. And yeah, that closes out Heat. And that closes out the Raw build to WrestleMania 40. We've got 2 more shows to go. Got ECW, where the Tribal Chief and both Usos will be in the building. And a whole lot more. See you then.